Show on the iHeartRadio Talk Network.
I am excited for this interview, ladies and gentlemen. Jamil Jivani back here with you, and we are joined by the supreme leader at the Woken Mail, which you can find at thewokenmail.com, Terrin O'Reilly. Terrin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jamil. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Have you done a land acknowledgement yet on your show today, or?
I have not actually, unfortunately, but I do appreciate you raising it to my attention, and maybe something we can consider for future editions of the show. I am very excited to talk with you, Terrin, because I find. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we should do one. We're on ceded land of the Anishinaabe, where they resided here in Toronto, a flourishing culture that was unfortunately stolen by white patriarchs like yourself, Jamil. And there's now a big concrete bell building sitting there. But yeah, anyway, continue. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I am not white. I may be a patriarch in your view, Terrin, but I'm definitely not a white person.
Well, that may be your internalized Christian Eurocentrism, but I'm just here to re-educate. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Please continue.
I appreciate it. I am a Christian, so you can ding me there if you'd like. I'm curious to know, Terrin, how you became the supreme leader at the Woken Mail, and when did the news site come together?
Yeah, so supreme leader, we don't really believe in hierarchy at the Woken Mail, although we do sometimes borrow communist ideals. And so we look at the hierarchy in terms of compassion and empathy. And whoever really cares the most, whoever is the best person, is really the one who should be the leader. Kind of like here in Canada with Justin Trudeau, he obviously cares the most, so he is the supreme leader of Canada. So it has to do with empathy and compassion and this sort of thing. But yes, the Woken Mail, it's a very exciting project. We just got the government grants approved. We are nonpartisan. We are 200% funded by the government, and agenda-free. Vote liberal. You know, it's investigative journalism at its finest.
What are some of the stories and issues, Terrin, that you are most passionate about, and that your team at the Woken Mail likes to report on and write about?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. At the Woken Mail, we do the thinking for you, and we stand up for the people. Marginalized people, BIPOC people, LGBTQ plus 2ISSA people. Those are the people that we do the reporting for. And we are a champion of anti-racism, of course, and to push forward the transgender acceptance and human rights wherever it needs to be shared. There's so many things that we are fighting for here at the Woken Mail. I'm sorry, I didn't want to... Are you wearing a mask right now? Because I'm not sure if I can actually sense if you're hearing it or not. That's a big health concern for me.
I am not wearing a mask, actually. It's not required where I am.
I don't know if you've been reading the news, Jamil, about the Delta variant, but that's very concerning. We don't know what this is capable of. I've been reading reports that it can go through technology. I'll just put on a fourth mask here just to make sure that I'm safe. But just for future, you can never be wearing too many masks. So.
Terrin, have you gotten vaccinated? Because I feel like that might take a little bit of the stress off you if you did get your 2 jabs.
Well, of course. I mean, of course I've been vaccinated. I'm actually lining up to get my 3rd booster Pfizer shot, of course. And there's a lot to be said about these unvaccinated people, okay? And there's a lot of reports that coming out, and we're going to be releasing this next week on the Woken Mail at thewokenmail.com, but there is a disturbing overlap between the unvaccinated and racism. It is so disturbing. There's just so much coming out of the woodwork everywhere. But of course, those who are unvaccinated are certainly racist. I just want to let your listeners know that.
Well, surely at the Woken Mail, you would want some facts to back that up, Terrin. What kind of facts do we have?
Well, yeah, I mean, we are investigative journalists, and of course, we believe in the science. It's all about the science. It's all about these authoritative bodies that tell us what is true and what is untrue. And of course, when it comes for legal reasons, of course, it is Canada's satirical newspaper. But aside from that, it is all very, very, very real science and very, very real reports that we bring to the people. For example, a lot of people have been talking about the horrible tragedy and genocide, our history of genocidal hatred everywhere in Canada because of these residential schools. But you may not know that dinosaur remains were actually found under some of these residential schools as well. And based on what we're seeing, we can only assume that the Christian Church, the Catholic Church, is responsible
for the extinction of the dinosaurs.
For the genocide of dinosaurs. That's right. Yeah. So it's 100% fact-based. Absolutely.
Wow. Who are some of your journalistic heroes, Terrin? Who got you interested in the business?
Yeah, that's a great question. Nora Lore is someone who I really look up to a lot. There's a lot of people out there that are just so wildly inspiring. I personally get a lot of Dr. Fauci. Really, I know he's not a journalist, but like his poise, his leadership is super, super inspiring. And I mean, she's not a journalist either, but Jessica Yaniv is my personal idol. I don't know if you've heard of her, but essentially I look up to any BIPOC transgender journalist, anyone who focuses on the real issues like how white supremacy is everywhere. Any journalist who focuses on that specific topic, I think, is really the future of journalism and what we need to be talking about more. There's really not enough of that sort of journalism taking place. So.
Well, Terrin, we see rumors all the time, but it looks to be becoming increasingly true that an election is in our near future in Canada, a federal election. How do you plan to cover that election? What are your news coverage plans for what will be a very, I think, tightly contested in some parts of the country competition for Canadian votes?
Yeah, great question. So we're going to focus on really the real contenders. So we can just take the Conservative Party, anybody else over there, brush them aside. They are not really on the table whatsoever. And quite frankly, the people in the quote people in Alberta, they're terribly misguided. They don't really belong so much in Canada because they are conservative. You're not a conservative, are you, Jamil?
I am a conservative, actually.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is real. Well, I wish I would have known this because, I mean, cancel culture is a very real thing, and being associated with you, everyone that you've taken a picture with, I could be associated with racist, right? Conservative. So, anyway, back to your question.
Sorry to blindside you with that news that I'm a conservative. Apologies.
That is, have you taken a knee for BLM, Jamil?
I have not.
Can we do that right now? Could we do that right now? I'm going to get down on one knee, and I think we should do that right now, for your listeners. I know we're on the radio, but if you could just describe yourself getting on one knee for BLM, because this is very relevant to the election, don't you think?
I don't really see the relevance, but I'm open to being persuaded by you. I know we've only got about 30 seconds left before we hit a commercial break. Terrin, any final comments or thoughts you'd like to share for folks who want to check out wokeandmail.com?
Yes, of course. We are the most progressive name in news, so come on down to thewokeandmail.com. We have hard-hitting articles. Like we said, we are 200% government funded. All of our articles are aligned with liberal policy, but we are agenda-free. We are agenda-free, and we are here to re-educate and make the world a better place. So if you want to be a good person, which I hope you do, Jamil, then you and your listeners should go to thewokeandmail.com. All conservatives will be banned, though. Just so you know.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, thank you for joining us, Terrin. All the best as the supreme leader at the Woke and Mail.
Thank you so much, Jamil. Maybe we can do a re-education session next week as well.
Look forward to it, Terrin. Take care. When we come back after the break, everybody, I want to know, which game show would you pick to be